Octbox fans, this is Rick Tyler here, and you find me today on the lovely Big Zalk in North Holland, a venue I've been coming to a few years now. For those English anglers that have been coming over to Holland for years, it's a well-known venue because it's full of big bream at certain times of year, particularly end of April, early May, where the bream start to move in to get ready for spawning. And when I say big bream, 9-10 pound fish. Now it's a very hit and miss venue, but if you get it right, the rewards can be fantastic. In terms of my setup today, I'm actually fishing on the bank. A lot of times I'll actually put the whole system out in the water, but on today I just wanted to show one particular way of setting the box up, where I've got the back legs on the bank and I'm using the outrigger to put the front end in the water. One of the big advantages of being able to put your box out a bit further, you've got to understand, if you're getting 200-300 pound of bream, you need to get your keep nets in some deeper water. And the other thing, this is a natural venue, you haven't got platforms, and if you are back in the reed bed like I am today, you've got to negotiate those bream, like I've had to do this morning, through the reed bed. And so if you can go out there, certainly I would recommend it, and I certainly wouldn't recommend coming to fish the Zalk without at least a platform. If you haven't got an Octbox with the outrigger, you definitely need a platform. In terms of fishing, you can get them on the pole with a waggler at 8 foot, feeder. It comes down to the particular day you're fishing, and really and truthfully, it's a case of reading the signs and getting to learn the topography of the lake, because there's deep areas and there's shallow areas, and one of the most important things you've got to work out is where you think the bream are going to be. And my experience is, if you had a lot of cold weather, snap and that sort of thing, you're looking for areas where you're counting around 18-19 seconds for your feeder to hit the bottom. That's where the bream are going to be. And if it warms up, well, they'll start to come in onto the shallows. The swim I'm fishing today, I'm literally 20 metres out from the reed bed in 5 foot of water. If I go to 30 metres, I'm in 20 foot of water. In terms of rigs, one thing that I would certainly recommend is make sure you tape up your cage feeders. If it's dropping through 15 to 20 foot of water, what you don't want is particles coming out on the way down, because it's going to bring fish off the bottom, making your life a lot more complicated, because you're going to get line bites as fish swim into your line. Second one is make sure you put enough bait out there. So if you're fishing with a feeder, literally every 2 or 3 minutes, back in, back out, and get plenty of food down there. I'm not having to do that here because I'm fishing close in and I've actually balled it in, and I'm just sitting on it now. In terms of hooks, don't use a thin wire hook. It's got to be a hook that's not going to spring open. These are 8-9 pound fish, and they've got a lot of power to them, and there's nothing worse than bringing a fish close in and the hook just springs open a little bit, and then you're wondering why you're losing fish. I'm probably fishing size 10 hooks and 0.16 reflow, something that sort of line, or a 0.14 reflow, and that would be fine. And the big hooks are just because I can mask them with a big worm and a couple of casters. Luckily enough, there's actually a worm farm in Zalk that gets where you can get really cheap worm.